So for your information, your batch number is batch 359, guys. This is just for reference purpose. Batch number 359. Okay, for every batch, I'm going to have 5 introduction classes. Total, how many introduction classes will be there? 5 introduction classes will have. Out of 5, we already completed class 1. Remaining 4 classes are there. So when we are going to have the remaining classes, um, today is the second class, Thursday is the third class, Friday is the fourth class, and Saturday is the fifth class. Complete this week, we'll have introduction class only. Okay, we completed class 1, and today's class is class 2. Before I start the class 2, second introduction class, I'll just give the recap of class 1. For a few minutes, I'll tell you what we discussed in the class 1. Recap of class 1. What I discussed in the class 1 is, in the class 1, I discussed about 3 points. What are the 3 points we discussed? What is data analysis? Then we understand what is Power BI, how to perform data analysis using Power BI. These are the 3 points I discussed, more than 60 minutes of time in the class 1. I'll just tell you a high level recap of these 3 points. Just within 1-2 minutes, I'll just explain about these 3 points. First, what is data analysis? I said that data analysis is one process. Data analysis is a process. I said that how many steps process it is? Data analysis is a 5-step process. Data analysis is a 5-step process which converts business data into actionable information. Into what? Actionable information. That is the definition we given for data analysis. Now tell me, what are the 5 steps you have? Okay, data analysis is a 5-step process, right? What are the 5 steps you have? First step is what?
OLTP,
OLTP. I said in introduction class, I said first step is OLTPs. Second step is what?
ETL,
ETL. I said that second step is ETL. Third step is what?
OLAP,
OLAP. OLAP, correct. Third step is OLAP. And fourth step is what?
create reports,
Create reports. Create reports. Fifth step is what? Share
sharing that
reports
reports.
to clients. We discussed these 5 steps for 40 minutes of time. In the introduction class, I explain what is ETL, what is OLAP, what is the reports, why we need to share. All these 5 steps we discussed. Okay, once after understanding what is data analysis, I will not discuss in detail. Then we need to understand what is Power BI. What I said about Power BI, I said Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. What I said? Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares. It have multiple softwares in it. Power BI contains multiple softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform what? Data analysis, I said. Data analysis contains how many steps? 5 steps, right? To perform these 5 steps, we have which software? Power BI. In introduction class, I clearly explain how to perform data analysis using Power BI softwares. This Power BI desktop contains collection of softwares, I said, right? What are the different softwares available in Power BI? In Power BI, 4 softwares are there. How many? 4. What is the first software? Power BI desktop. This is the most important software in Power BI. It is the development software where we work 90% of time. These 3 softwares, Power BI service, report server, or mobile, or small softwares. Okay, we know that Power BI desktop internally contains what? I just opened Power BI architecture slide. Power BI desktop internally contains 3 more softwares. What are that? Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. These 3 softwares, Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, are internally available in where? Power BI desktop. And we write that using all these softwares, we need to perform this data analysis, I said. Who will provide the OLTPs? Companies. Who will provide the OLTPs? Companies. Once company is provided OLTPs, what is the next step we need to do? ETL. I said that where we do ETL using Power Query. After doing ETL, we need to create what? OLAP. Where we will create OLAP, I said Power Pivot. In Power Pivot, we'll create OLAP, I said. After creating OLAP, what we need to do? We need to create reports. Using Power View, we will create the reports, I said. Finally, what you need to do? Share the reports to the clients. Whatever the report we developed in Power View, can I share directly from Power View to the clients? Possible? Yes. Can I share from Power View
No,
directly to the clients?
no, no.
No. In order to share it, either we need to publish it to Power BI service. From there, we need to share with the clients, or we need to publish it to Power BI report server. From there, we need to share with the clients. Either one. What is the difference? One is cloud. Second one is what? On-premise. Which one is mostly used? I said cloud or on-premise?
Cloud
Cloud.
one. Power BI,
99%
sir.
of the companies, they're using cloud. After developing the report, they'll publish the report to Power BI service. From there, they'll share with whom? Clients. Once you share the report to the clients, clients can view the reports in the mobiles using what? Power BI mobile app. These are the different softwares available in Power BI. And using that, how to perform data analysis, I discussed more than 20 minutes of time in the introduction class. If you want to get the detailed explanation, I request please watch the introduction class video, guys. Now, okay, you understand what is data analysis means. You understand what is Power BI. Now, we will write how to perform data analysis using what? Power BI. In 2 lines, we will combine this complete in 2 lines. In the data analysis, first step is what? OLTPs. Who will provide, I said? Companies. What is the second step in data analysis? ETL. Where we do ETL in Power BI? To do ETL in Power BI, you have what?
Power query.
Power Query. After doing ETL, what I said? We need to create OLAP. Where we will create OLAP in Power BI, I said?
Power pilot.
Power Pivot.
Power Pivot.
After creating OLAP, we need to create what? Reports. We'll
Power
create
View.
reports using what software, I said? Power
Power
View.
View.
After creating reports, we need to share the reports to whom? Clients. Share reports to clients. You can do it using what software, I said? Power BI service.
Power
Power
View.
BI service.
Service.
So this is what you need to learn. Okay. People who miss the introduction class, please watch it. There I explain every point in detail. What is data analysis? What is Power BI? All this. Okay. Now let's jump into the class 2. I just give a recap of class 1. Now today's class is what? Second introduction class. I said that in today's class, we'll start the practicals. Tell me, guys, Power BI developer work will start in which software?
Power
Power BI
Query.
desktop. Our work will
Power
start in Power BI desktop, guys. Who will provide this data? OLTPs or data sources will be provided by our company. Our work will start here. So in Power BI desktop also, where we will start our work? In Power Query. First, in order to start our work, we need this software. Today, first what we will do is, we'll see how to install Power BI desktop software, how to download and install which software? Power BI desktop. Once you download and install Power BI desktop, then we will start practicals. So from where we can download the Power BI desktop? First point I need to tell about Power BI desktop is Microsoft is providing this Power BI desktop for free. The great thing is it's a free software. Microsoft is not charging any amount in order to use which software? Power BI desktop. Companies can download it for free. Students can download it for free and they can use it for free. It is a free software. They can use it for free. It's not free for 2 months or 3 months. It's lifetime free. So that means anyone can download and install Power BI desktop in their laptop and they can do ETL for free of cost. And in Power Pivot, they can create OLAP database for free of cost. In Power View, they can generate the reports for free of cost. When Microsoft will provide everything for free, then what Microsoft will get? After creating the report, what you need to do? You need to share it with the clients. Can I share the report directly from Power View to the clients? Not possible, right? We need what? Either Power BI service or Power BI report server. Who will sell these two softwares also? Those two softwares also Microsoft will provide. Who will provide? Microsoft. But these two softwares are not free. They are what? Paid softwares. Power BI desktop is free, but Power BI service and report server are what? Paid. This is the place where Microsoft will get the money. You'll get that idea. Now, for now, concentrate on Power BI desktop. I said that Power BI desktop is what software here? Free software. Let me show you where you can download it. You can download this software in the Google easily. Just to open search engine Google. I'm just opening the search engine Google. Once you open the Google, I just open the Google and I'll search for Power BI desktop software download. Just search for what? Power BI desktop software download. When I go and hit enter, I'll get the first link, download Microsoft Power BI desktop from official website. From where? Right click on it, open the link. When you open the link, I'll just, when I go to this link, you'll find an option called Microsoft Power BI desktop. What option? Download. I'll just copy this URL. I'll just paste this URL in this notepad. After the class, I'll share this notepad, right? You people go to the notepad and copy the URL. You people open one of the web browser in your laptop, and in the web browser, paste the link and enter. Directly when you paste the link and enter, you'll go to Power BI desktop. What option? Click on download, guys. When I click on download, software will start downloading. It's a lightweighted software. It will just hardly take a minute of time. Let it download, guys. So we can easily download, as it is a free software. It can be available in the Google. In this particular link, you can download it. Okay, once you download Power BI desktop, then I'll tell you what you need to install in your laptop. You need to install in your laptop. How to install, I'll tell you. Okay, before I install, I'll just tell you how to install. I'll tell you, we will discuss prerequisites. Prerequisites to install which software? Power BI desktop software. In order to install Power BI desktop software, what are the prerequisites? We'll try to understand. So I have a laptop in my home, or I have a desktop in my home. In this laptop or desktop, you guys are planning to install which software today? Power BI desktop. In order to install this software, already in your laptop or desktop, we need to pre-install some more softwares. What are the prerequisites in order to install Power BI desktop software is? The first prerequisite we have is, I'll talk about supporting operating system. OS. What? Supporting operating system. What? OS. Operating system, in short, we call it as OS. In your laptop, you need to have OS, guys. Either Windows 10 you need to have, or Windows 11, or what? Power BI desktop can be installed only on what? Either Windows 10 or what? Windows 11. Take an example. I have a laptop. In my laptop, I have Mac OS. Which OS? Mac. Can I go and install Power BI desktop on Mac OS? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. I said what? Supporting operating system. What are the operating systems it will support? I said Windows 10 or Windows 11. Where I written Mac here, I don't written it, right? You cannot install Power BI desktop on what? Mac. Let's say I have a laptop which have Linux OS. Which OS? Can I go and install Power BI desktop on Linux OS? Not possible. Make sure in your laptop, you need to have either what? Windows 10 or Windows 11. Let me go and check in my laptop which OS I have, either Windows 10 or Windows 11. How to check which OS we have in the laptop? About this PC, about your PC. In the search bar, when you search for about your PC, you guys can see what OS you have in the laptop. In my laptop, what OS I have? Windows 11. Can I install Power BI desktop on Windows 11? Yes. You also check any one of these OS is there or not. If this OS are not there in your laptop, you need to upgrade it. Or else, if you have Mac OS, you cannot install Power BI desktop on Mac. Directly, you cannot install. There will be some workaround where we need to install virtual machine, all that. But Power BI desktop directly can install on what? Windows only, either Windows 10 or Windows 11. In my laptop, I have what? Windows 11. Okay, first prerequisite got satisfied. What is the second prerequisite is? In your laptop, you need to have one web browser, Internet Explorer 10 or greater. What is this Internet Explorer? In short, we call it as IE. In the older days, you have this IE. This IE is a browser. What is this? Browser. It's a web browser. In the place of IE, what you are seeing nowadays? Nowadays, you don't see IE. What you are seeing nowadays? Nowadays, you are seeing what? Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge. Make sure in your laptop either you need to have IE or Microsoft Edge, guys. In my laptop, I have which browser? Microsoft Edge. I have Windows 11. Make sure you need to have these two prerequisites. When these two are there, you are good to install Power BI Desktop. You are good to install which software now? Power BI Desktop. You already downloaded Power BI Desktop, right? Now, when I go to downloads, I can see the software which I have downloaded. I can start installing it this now. Okay. So this is software related prerequisites. Let me talk about hardware. What hardware is required in the laptop? What we are going to discuss now? In your laptop or desktop, what hardware is required? Any processor is fine. Your laptop, any processor is fine. Either i3 or i5 or i7 or AMD, whatever it is. Any processor is fine. When it comes to RAM, I recommend minimum RAM required is 4 GB minimum. Better to have 8 GB RAM. So even you can install on a computer. If you already have a laptop, if it is a laptop which have 4 GB RAM also, okay, you can comfortably install and you can start practicing it. But if you are purchasing a new laptop, I recommend purchase the laptop with minimum how much RAM? 8 GB. Power BI Desktop purely work on RAM. When you have more RAM, you can work fast. When you have less RAM, it will be a bit slow. No problem. You can work a bit slow. Okay, this is the RAM you require. When it comes to hard disk or SSD, hard disk or SSD, any size is fine. Any size. So if you are purchasing a new laptop, we better to go with what? SSDs. Don't go with what? Hard disk. If it is an old laptop, no problem. Okay, if it is a new laptop, better to go with SSDs. SSDs can perform much faster than what? Hard disk. So overall, you require a laptop with medium configuration, guys. We don't require a laptop with high configuration. We require a laptop with what? Just medium configuration. Okay. Now, this prerequisites, software related prerequisites I have, and hardware also, my laptop have all the necessary hardware. Now I'm good to install Power BI Desktop, guys. To install Power BI Desktop, go to download, go to the software, double click on it. What you need to do to install? Double click on it. When you double click on it, installation will start, guys. First step in the installation, it is asking to choose the language. What it is asking to choose? Language. Choose the right language and click on what? Next. When I click on next, it is asking, do you want to make the changes to the system? Click on S. When I click on S, it is straightforward installation. It is easy to install Power BI Desktop. One more time, click on what? Next. Now accept the licensing terms and conditions and click on what? Next. It is installing in a default path called C drive. Let it install in the same path. Click on what? Next. It will create a desktop shortcut. You have a checkbox. Do you want to create shortcut? You have Microsoft Edge shortcut. You have GoToMeeting shortcut. You have Zoom shortcut, right? What is the use of the shortcuts? The shortcuts will help you to open the software easily. Open the software easily. Let it create which shortcut? Power BI Desktop. Somewhere here, it will create Power BI Desktop shortcut. Let it create. Click on what? Install. When I click on install, this is the last step, guys. That's it. See how simple it is to install Power BI Desktop? Just 4-5 clicks, you can install Power BI Desktop. Yes or no? Within few seconds, you will get the message. Installation was successful. What is the message you will get? Installation was successful. Let's wait. Wait for that screen. Last step. Wait for that screen. Okay, we'll come back there. That is the last step in the installation. Now, we guys see from where to download the Power BI Desktop. and how to install it in our laptops we see, right? Now we'll start the practicals. Before we start the practicals, I said that we need to start working practically now. We need to start the practical work in where? In Power BI Desktop, where we will start our work? In Power Query. First software is Power Query. So before we start Power Query, first let me give the definition of Power BI Desktop. Let's say someone asks you, what is Power BI Desktop? What is Power BI Desktop? When you are starting working in Power BI Desktop, better you know what is Power BI Desktop first. Better you know what is Power BI Desktop. Fine, guys. What is Power BI Desktop is? I'll write here. Now you see, you got a shortcut, guys. Previously, you don't have this Power BI Desktop shortcut. Yes or no? As the installation was almost done, you got this shortcut. Okay. Now I'll write the definition of Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a software which is used to, Power BI Desktop is a software which is used to prepare the data, model the data, prepare the data, model the data, and what? Visualize the data. These are the works you can do in Power BI Desktop, guys. So preparing the data, in other words, we call it as ETL. Preparing the data, what is the meaning? Doing ETL. Tell me, guys, in Power BI Desktop, using which specific software we do ETL?
Power Query.
Power Query. Preparing the data or doing ETL using what? Power Query. That is the first step you guys will do in the Power BI Desktop. After that, what I said? Model the data. Second work you will do in the Power BI Desktop is modeling the data. Modeling the data means creating OLAP. Where you will create OLAP, I said? Power Pivot. Power Pivot. After modeling the data, next step is what? Visualize the data. Visualize the data means creating visuals. Create what? Create visuals. Where you will create visuals, I said? Power View. If someone asks you, what is Power BI Desktop? You need to tell these 3 lines, guys. Right? This is Power BI Desktop. Okay. In the Power BI Desktop, I said that where we will start our work? In Power BI Desktop, we guys will start our work in where? Power Query. Today, next 35 minutes, we only talk about introduction to Power Query software. Which software? Introduction. In Power BI Desktop, how to open Power Query, how to do what? ETL. That we will learn today. So I'm just giving introduction, complete introduction to Power BI. In tomorrow's class, I'll tell you in Power BI Desktop how to open what? Power Pivot, how to create what? OLAP. And then we will discuss in Power View how to create what? Visual report. And then we will discuss how to publish the report to where? Power BI service, and how to share the report to what? Clients. This all the steps you will learn practically at a high level in introduction classes only. Okay, now you go and see installation. The last message you got. So what is the message? You have successfully completed the Microsoft Power BI Desktop installation, guys. Now, before you go and click on finish, you uncheck this checkbox. What is the checkbox? Launch Microsoft Power BI Desktop. When you keep this checkbox selected and click on finish, it will open the software right now. I don't want to open the software right now. I'll open later. In order to open later, I'll unselect it and click on finish. Installation was done. Now, you got a shortcut. Anytime you can come to this shortcut and you can open the Power BI Desktop software from here. Okay, fine, guys. Now, what you need to do? So once you understand definition of Power BI Desktop, then we need to first understand about what? Power Query. Understanding Power BI Desktop means you need to understand about Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. If you know these 3 softwares, you know what? Power BI Desktop. Now, so what we will learn in the next 35 minutes is we'll learn about introduction to which software? Power Query software. Let's start with the definition, guys, first. So what is Power Query? Let's say someone asks you, what is Power Query? Let me start with the definition. First I'll write and then I'll explain, guys. Power Query is an ETL software. In short, you can tell Power Query is an what? ETL software. This is the very short definition of Power Query. but it's not wrong. I want to have a more elaborated definition about Power Query. This is very short definition. Let me tell you what Power Query will do. Power Query can connect and extract data from any kind of data source. From what? Any kind of data source. That is the first step Power Query will do, comma. Second step, what it will do is, okay, what we are trying to tell is, wherever companies are storing the business data, I can call them as what? Data source. In Power BI terminology, wherever we store the data, we call it as data source. Some people will call it as data source. Some people will call it as what? OLTPs. What Power Query will do? Power Query will connect to that OLTPs or data sources. It will extract the tables. What is the first step it will do? Extract the tables into the Power Query. That is what I written. Power Query can connect and extract the data from where? Any kind of data source. Let's say your company store the data anywhere. So in this example, I write only 3 data sources: Excel, SQL Server, Oracle. That means Power Query can bring the data only from these 3? Only from these 3, or it can bring from other sources also?
No.
It can bring from hundreds of sources. It can bring from where? But in that example, I cannot mention all the 100. That is the reason I mentioned some 3. But Power Query have the capability to connect to what? Hundreds of sources, and it can extract the tables. I'll show you. With 2-3 clicks, it can extract the tables. That is the first step it will do. Once it is done with this first step, what it will do? Transform the data. Once Power Query can connect and extract the data from any kind of data source, comma, transform the data as per the report requirements. As per the requirements. What you will do, second step in the Power Query? In the second step in the Power Query, you will transform the data as per what? What? Report requirements. What is the meaning is, so you extracted tables, right? Sometimes data in the source system will be in one format. Client will be expecting to see the data in the report in another format. In what? Another format. Let's try to understand a small example. In SQL Server, I have a customers table. Which table? Customers. That customers table have customer first name, customer middle name, customer last name. Customer name is stored in how many columns? 3 columns. First name, middle name, last name. But in the report, client want to see customer full name. What they want to see? Customer full name. In order to show customer full name, here customer name is there in how many columns? 3 columns. In the report, client want to see in how many columns? Only 1 column. What you need to do now? Transform. You need to bring that customers table to where? Power Query. First step is you extract the customers table. Once you extract the customers table, what you need to do? Transform the data. How you need to show in where? Reports. Here transform means you need to combine first name, middle name, last name. You need to combine these 3 columns into what? Full name. Yes or no? That full name you need to load into where? Power Pivot. That data you need to show it in where? Visual. What is the second step you will do in the Power Query? Transform the data as per what? Report requirements. Who will provide that report requirements? Who will tell this report requirements? How they want to see the data in the reports? Who will tell us? Companies will tell us. Companies will tell us how they want to see the data in the reports. Into that format, we need to transform the data. Okay, that is the second step you do. And what is the last step you do is, and loads the data into Power Pivot. Into where? These are the 3 steps you guys will do in the Power Query, guys. In where? Power Query. What if someone asks you what Power Query will do? What Power Query will do? Power Query can connect and extract the data from where? Any kind of data source. What is the next step? Transform the data as per the report requirements provided by the companies or clients, and loads the data into where? Power Pivot. That means it will extract the tables. It will transform the data in the tables. It will load the tables to Power Pivot. Whatever the tables you loaded into Power Pivot, you will use the tables for what? Creating OLAP database. Creating OLAP database. Okay, whatever I theoretically explain now about Power Query, let's start practically. We'll try to understand this practically now. Tell me guys, in order to open Power Query software, we need to open which software first? In order to open Power Query, first we need to open what? Power BI Desktop. After opening Power BI Desktop only, we can open what? Power Query. How to open Power BI Desktop? When you install Power BI Desktop, you'll get a shortcut, right? You just need to go to shortcut and double click on it. When I double click on it, it will open what software? Power BI Desktop. I'm just double clicking on it. It successfully opened Power BI Desktop, guys. For the first time, when you open Power BI Desktop, you'll get this welcome screen. What is the name of this screen? It is a welcome screen, guys. You people also get the same screen. When you open the Power BI Desktop, you'll get the same welcome screen. In the welcome screen, you see a message is there. Start with a, you need to go and click on what? Blank report. To start working in the Power BI Desktop, we need to click on blank report. Just click on blank report. When I click on blank report, it successfully open what software? Power BI Desktop. Once you open Power BI Desktop, you need to go and open what? Power Query to do what? ETL. To do the ETL. So first I need to open Power BI Desktop. We guys see how to open Power BI Desktop. After opening Power BI Desktop, we need to open what? Power Query, right? Let me tell you how to open Power Query. Power BI Desktop contains totally how many softwares I said? Power BI Desktop contains totally how many softwares? 3 softwares. You people need to learn. Where do we have the 3 softwares? Power BI Desktop, what is the first software you have? Power Query. I'll tell you first. In Power BI Desktop, where do we have Power Query? How to do ETL, we will learn. What you will learn first? In Power BI Desktop, where we have Power Query, how to do what? ETL. After we learn this, what is the second software in Power BI Desktop? Power Pivot. Second, I will tell you, where do we have Power Pivot? How to create what? In Power Pivot, what? OLAP, not visuals. What is the third step? What is the third software you have? Power Query, Power Pivot? Power View. Then I'll teach you where we have in Power BI Desktop Power View, how to create visuals. How to create what? Visuals. All that visuals what you create, we call it as one report. We call it as a what? Report. One by one we will learn. As I said, today we will learn what? Where do we have Power Query? How to do what? ETL. In tomorrow's class, you will learn what? Where do we have Power Pivot? How to create what? OLAP. Then you will learn what? Where do we have Power View? How to create what? Visual report. One by one, we will have the introduction. Now, in order to open Power Query, what you guys need to do now? I already opened what? Power BI Desktop. I need to open what? Power Query. To open Power Query, you need to go to Home tab. We need to click on Transform Data option. Which option? When I go to Home tab and I click on Transform Data option, it will open which software? It will open Power Query, guys. Let's go and open Power Query, guys. Let's go and open Power Query. Right. So just go to Home tab, click on Transform Data. As soon as I click on, now I am in Power BI Desktop screen. Where you are now? You carefully notice when I go to Home tab, when I click on Transform Data, it will open a new screen. What is the new screen name? Power Query Editor. Now, how many screens are open now? 2. Initially, only 1. Let me close this Power Query one more time. I'm just clicking close. Currently, now you have how many screens? When you open Power BI Desktop, you'll get only 1 screen. To open Power Query, what we are doing? To open Power Query, you are going to Home tab. In Home tab, you are clicking an option called what? Transform Data. When you click on Transform Data, it will open a what? New screen. It will open a new screen. What is the name of that screen? Power Query Editor screen. Power Query Editor user interface, we call it as. That Power Query Editor user interface is the place where you will do what? ETL activities. Now you go and see, when I go to Home tab, Transform Data, it open the new screen called Power Query Editor, right? This complete one, we call it as Power Query Editor user interface. User UI in short. This Power Query Editor UI is the place where you will do what? ETL. We have a separate screen to do the ETL. This is the only place where you guys will do what? ETL. Okay. Now ETL activities. Now I successfully open what software now? Power Query. I'm in Power Query now. In Power Query, what is the first step I said? In Power Query, this is the work you will do. What is the first step you need to do? Extract data from where? Data source. In order to start working in the Power Query, what you required? Data. Without this data, can I start working in the Power Query? No. We need to have this data first. Who will provide this data? I said companies. First, okay, I successfully opened Power BI Desktop. And after opening Power BI Desktop, I successfully opened Power Query. Now in Power Query, I need to start doing what? ETL activities. In order to start working, doing ETL activities, what you required? Data source. What you required? Data source. Who will provide this data source? I said, without data source, we cannot work in Power Query. Who will provide this data source? I said, companies. So my company provided, in today's example, let's say my company provided, see, I said that companies might store their business data either in one OLTP or multiple OLTPs. Imagine my company is storing some business data in the Excel, some other business data in the SQL server. ABC company is there. ABC company have some business data which was stored in how many places? Few data in where? Excel, few data in where? SQL server. So my company provided Excel, comma, what? SQL server as what? Data sources. Once your company provided the data sources, can I start my ETL work now? Yes, we can start the ETL work. Now you need to go to Power Query. So what is the first work in the Power Query? I said, first work in the Power Query is what? Extract the data from data sources. What is the second work? Transform the data. What is the last work? Load the data into where? Power Query. These are the three works you need to do in Power Query. To extract the data in the Power Query, okay, I just came to Power Query. To extract the data, we need to use an option called what? New source. New source is the option which will help us to what? Extract the data. Click on new source and you'll see connectors here. If you want to extract the data from Excel, you need to use what we call this as each one? Connectors. We call it as what? Connectors. The connectors will help us. This connector will help us to connect what? Excel. This connector will help us to connect to what? SQL server. Let's say my company is storing the data in Oracle database. Which database? Oracle database. Do you have Oracle connector here? I want to connect to Oracle database and bring the data. I need to extract the data. In the list, do you have Oracle connector here? You need to click on more. If you don't see the connector here, when you click on more, you will see more connectors. Here they provided only few connectors. But when I go and click on more, you can see hundreds of connectors. Now you see a bigger list. Yes or no? So in this bigger list, you have a connector called what? Oracle database. I can use this Oracle database connector to extract the tables from where? Oracle database. From where? Oracle database. Why I said Power Query can connect and extract the data from any kind of data sources. You can see here, there are a lot of connectors. It can connect to DB2 and bring the data. It can connect to MySQL database and bring the data, Postgres database, Sybase database. Like this, it can connect to Teradata, SAP HANA, Amazon Redshift, whatnot, Google BigQuery. You go and see there is a big list. It can connect to big data related data sources. It can connect to cloud related data sources. It can connect to APIs. It can bring the data almost from any kind of data source. Okay. So I'm in Power Query. Now I need to extract. What you need to do now? First, in the Power Query, you need to do what work first? Extract. Extract data from where? Data sources. First, what you need to do is, now your company provided how many data sources I said? Excel, SQL Server. What Power BI developer need to do first? From Power Query, first he need to connect to what? Excel, and he need to bring the tables, what is required for creating what? Visual reports. Okay, once you connect to Excel and extract the tables, what is the next step? What is the next step? Next step, you need to connect to what? SQL Server and you need to extract what? Tables. First, you need to complete what? Extraction. When you connect to SQL Server, we need to extract only the tables. What is required for what? Creating visual reports. When you connect to SQL Server, you might have hundreds of tables. Does it require to bring all the hundreds of tables to Power Query? Not required. We need to bring only tables. What is used for what? Creating visual reports. Okay, first connect to Excel, extract the tables. Connect to SQL Server, extract the tables. After you extract the tables to Power Query, what is the second step? Transform the tables as per what? Report requirements or visual requirements. How you need to show the data? How? We need to show the data here. Into that format, we need to transform the data. That transformed data we need to load into where? Power Pivot. Using the tables, you will create what? OLAP. That we will see later. Let's understand today about Power Query. Okay, I'm just going to Power Query. What we need to do now, I said in Power Query. What we need to do now? You. What is the step we need to do, I said? Now in Power Query, what I need to do? I just said what you need to do. First, you need to connect to what?
Connectors.
Excel and what? Extract tables. Concentrate here.
Extract.
You need to connect to Excel and extract the tables. Tell me guys, into Power Query, how to connect to Excel and bring the tables? New
We
source,
will go to new source. Then
Excel workbook. You need to browse where the Excel file is located. It is there in where? Desktop, Power BI material, Power BI introduction. I want to bring the tables from one of the Excel file called what? Sample Superstore. Click on what? Open. Once I select
it.
the Excel and when I click on open, that Excel will open in the Power Query, guys. Once that Excel open here, it will show the available tables in that Excel. That Excel file have how many tables? 3 tables. We need to select what tables we required for creating the visuals. Let's say I required all the 3 tables for creating the visuals. Now I selected how many tables here? 3 tables. Once I select 3 tables, just press what?
Okay.
Okay. When I press OK, the 3 tables will get into where? Power Query. Now
Power
Power Query
Query.
have how many tables now?
3 tables.
3 tables. What is the next step? Once you get the 3 tables to the Power Query, what is the next step, guys?
Transforming this table as per.
Not transforming the table, I said.
Sorry.
After getting the 3 tables from Excel, what is the next step, I said? My company not only storing the business data in where? Excel. They also storing the business data in where?
SQL
Server
as well.
also.
Okay.
Now what you need to do?
So
you need to bring
with
some
the
more
database.
tables here from SQL Server also.
Yeah,
Tell me
sorry.
guys, into Power Query, how to bring some more tables from SQL Server?
We will again go to new source and connect
Again,
with
you need to
this
go to
as
new source. Again, you need to go to where? New
new
source.
source.
Online people, please be on mute. Again, we need to go to new source and we need to click on what? SQL Server this time. You want to bring the tables from SQL Server, so you need to click on this connector. When I click on new source SQL Server, it will ask me to enter the server name and what?
Server
Database name.
details.
Who will provide the server details and database details? Is companies will provide. Who will provide? As soon as you
Company.
join in the company will tell you what server name you need to use, what database name you need to use. Okay, let's say my company provided some server name. I'll just go and copy the server name. My company provided some server name. I'm just copying the server name and I'll just use that server name here. Once after the server name, what is the next one? Database name. Okay, here database name they're telling what? Optional. Let me give a brief idea. Okay, generally one server will have multiple databases, guys. One server will have what? Multiple databases. This is the server. It will have database 1. It will have database 2. It will have database 3. It will have database 4 and so on. What a database will have is tables. Table 1, table 2, table 3 and so on. If you give the server name, if you give the database name, we will see the tables available. What we can see? Tables available. If you give both server name and database name, and when I press OK, I can see what? Tables in the database. If I give only server name, available databases. What are the available databases available in the server? You can see. Now I would like to see all the databases available under this server, guys. That is the reason I'm not giving database name. So as it is optional, I am just giving server name. I would like to see all the databases available in the server. And when I just press OK, it is asking to connect to this server. What is the username and what? password. Who will share this username details and password details also? Companies will share us. Right. Now my company is asking to connect to this server. This is the server, guys. To connect to this server, they have the access to my Windows credentials. While I log into my laptop, my Windows laptop, while I try to log in, I provided some username and password. What I provided? That username and password also have access to the server. So that is the reason I'm selecting this server. I'm asking to use my Windows credentials. Use my credentials. It will use my username. It will use my Windows password, and they have the access to the server. Okay, just click on connect. When I click on connect, just press OK, guys. When you press OK, it successfully connect to the server. It connected to the server, and it is showing the available databases. How many databases are there? 8. What are the databases you see? Employee database, product database, retail AB database. Like this, different databases are there. When I go and expand any database, when I open the retail AB database, how many tables are there? 9 tables. Address table, customers table, sales table, like this. When I go to AdventureWorks 2019 database, how many tables are there? 102 tables are there. Now, I connect to SQL Server. There are 8 different databases, and database have lot of tables. When I connect to SQL Server from Power Query, it have hundreds of tables. Tell me, guys, does it require to bring all the hundreds of tables into Power Query? Want to bring all the tables?
No.
All the tables? Yes or no?
No.
You don't need to bring all the tables. You need to bring only the tables what we need to use for what? Creating visual reports. Creating in the real time also, when you connect to any database, you will see hundreds of tables there. You don't need to pull all the tables into the Power Query. We need to extract only the data. What you need to use for what? Creating visual reports. Now, let's say my company is asking to create reports only the tables available in product database. Only the tables available in where? I just go to product database. In product database also, they ask me to create the reports using customers table, product table, and sales table. Please be on mute. They ask me to create visuals using how many tables? Only 3 tables. Even though I have hundreds of tables there, I don't select hundreds of tables. I only select what? 3 tables. That are the 3 tables I required for creating what? Reports. After selecting the 3 tables, press what? Okay. When I press OK, another 3 tables will be added into Power Query or not? Now, totally, how many tables are there in Power Query? 6. Perfect. Now, what you do? You connect to Excel. You extracted 3 tables. You connect to SQL Server. You extracted another 3 tables. Now, totally, you have how many tables in the Power Query? 6. Let's say you completed extraction process. What is the next step? Transform. What is the second step? We need to go and transform the data in the tables, guys. Now you tell me, I want to go and select each table. And when I select any table in the Power Query, so after bringing the table, we need to select the table and we need to see the data in the table, whether it is in the proper format or not. What is your requirement, guys? You need to select the table and we need to see the data in this table is in the proper format or not. You people tell me the data in the table is in the proper format or not. So you need to check the data in this table, orders table, whether it is available in the on what basis you will check the data. We need to check the data as per what? Report requirement, client requirement. Client will tell you these requirements before itself. After bringing the tables, we need to check the data. See, after extracting the tables into the Power Query, what we need to do second step? We need to check data in the tables. We need to check the data in the tables, whether it is in the proper format or not, as per the report. Now, when I go and check the orders table, when I select orders table, when I try to see the data, I noticed proper data is there. All the data in the orders table is exactly same how I want to show in the report. That's fine. Now I am going to where? People. When I go to people's table, I notice that data is not in the proper format. What is the problem with the people's table? What is not properly available in the people's table? Look at the table and tell me what is not properly available. In the people's table, what is not properly available?
The person name and all,
Column
the
headers
name
are
should
not
be
there.
column.
What is not there? Column headers.
Like
If you go
headers
to
are not.
orders table, I have column headers as order date, order ID, ship date. We have proper column headers. But in the people's table, column names as column 1, column 2, column 3. We don't have proper column headers. So now data in the people's table is not in the proper format. When it is not in the proper format, what you need to do? You need to transform. I need to move this first row to header, guys. Like this, we need to transform the data. I'll discuss a lot of examples, guys. So let me give one example now. In visual, client is asking to show. I said that we need to transform the data as per what? Report requirements. First, in order to transform the data, what you need to know first? Report requirements. Let me give one report requirement. In one of the visual, client is asking to show customer full name and sales. What they're asking to show in the visual? Customer full name along with what? Sales, right? To show customer full name and sales, you need to drag the customer full name. Now you already bought the customers table from SQL Server to which software? Power Query. I want to go and check whether customer full name is there or not. To check the customer full name is there or not, we need to go and check in SQL Server or we need to check in Power Query. Power Query. You don't need to go to SQL Server to check the data because already you connect to SQL Server and bring the tables to where? Power Query. In Power Query itself, what I can do? Check the data. What you need to check? Customer full name is there or not, we need to check. Go to where? Power Query. Go to which table? Customer data. Try to check the data. When I try to check the data, you have what? First name, middle name, last name. When I try to check the customers table, nowhere I find full name. What you need to understand is SQL Server have a customers table. What you have? That customers table have what? First name, middle name, last name. But client want to see in the report what? Full name. What client want to see? Full name. What you need to do now? Data in the source system is in one format. Client is expecting in what? Another format. What you need to do now? Transform. You already extracted the table to where? Power Query. Customers table, you extracted it. Once in customers table, we need to do what? Transform. You need to combine what? First name, middle name, last name. These three columns we need to combine into what? Full name. That is the second step you need to do. Once you transform the data, the transformed data we will load into where? Power Pivot. The transformed data we will use in where? Visual report. That is one report requirement. What is the one report requirement I said? One report requirement I said is client required to see what? Customer full name. Let me give one more requirement. In another visual, client is asking to show product name by sales. What they want to see? Product name column and what? Sales column. They want to see product name in uppercase. How they want to see the product name? Uppercase. Now, I need to go and check the data, whether product name is in uppercase or not. To check the data, you need to go to SQL Server or we need to check the data in Power Query. Power Query. Already you connected to SQL Server, already you bought the product table to where? Power Query. In Power Query, you can check what? Data. Go to Power Query, select which table? Product data table. Now you are seeing which table data here? Product table data. Where you are checking the data? Power Query. When I go to product name column, this is the product name column. Is this product name column in uppercase? No, it is not in the uppercase. So it is in the proper case. We call this as proper case or sentence case. Proper case or sentence case. What we understand is in SQL Server, we have a product name, products table. Which table is there? Products table. That products table have a product name column. That product name column is in which case? Proper case. But client want to see in the visual, which column? Product name. But client want to see product name in what? Uppercase. The data in the source system is in what? Proper case. Client want to see in what? Uppercase. The data in the source system is in one format. Client is expecting in another format. What you need to do again? Transform. We need to bring the product table from SQL Server to Power Query. In Power Query, in the product table, you need to convert product name from where? Proper case to uppercase. Converting proper case to uppercase, is it transform or not? Transform. The transformed data we will load into where? Power Pivot. The transformed data you will use in where? Visuals. Visuals. Right that point? Second requirement is they want to see product name in what? Uppercase. In product name in uppercase, etc. So like this, client will tell us the requirements, report requirements. As per the report requirements, we guys need to do what? Transform the data. I just given few requirements, right? Let's go and transform the data. Once you know the report requirements, you can transform the data. So what you need to do in product data table? I mean Power Query. What is the transformation you need to do? Concentrate, guys, and just tell me what you need to do in product table. You need to convert product name to uppercase. In product data table, product name is in proper case. You need to convert into what?
Uppercase.
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 So one important point I'll tell you. In Power Query, to do ETL, we no need to write the code. Tell me, guys, to connect to Excel, to bring the tables to Power Query, or to connect to SQL Server, to bring the tables, do we write any code? No. We don't write any code. With 2 clicks, we connect to the data source and we bring the tables. No matter where your company is storing the data, Power Query can connect to that and extract the table data with 2 clicks. You don't need to write the code. Even to bring the data from Oracle to where? Power Query, you guys no need to write what? Code. With just 2 clicks, with just options, we can bring the data. So let me write one important point. In Power Query, to do ETL, to do what? ETL, we no need to write any code. We no need to write code. Then how we can do? We no need to write the code. We can do ETL using the GUI options. We can do what? ETL using which options? GUI options. There will be some GUI options available. So in Power Query, what is GUI full form is? Graphical user interface options. Graphical user interface options. So Power Query contains lot of GUI options. What Power Query contains is, Power Query contains multiple GUI options. Multiple GUI options. Let me tell you what is this. I'm just going to Power Query. This new source, we call it as one GUI option. New source, we call it as what? GUI option. Here, split column, we call it as one GUI option. Group by, we call it as one GUI option. Use first row as header, we call it as what? GUI option. Power Query contains what? Multiple GUI options. When I go to transform, replace values is one GUI option. Unpivot columns is one GUI option. When I go to add column tab, merge columns is one GUI option. Conditional column is one GUI option. Duplicate column is one GUI option. There are multiple GUI options available in where? Power Query. So we use the GUI options, multiple GUI options to perform what? The GUI options will help us to perform what? ETL activities. So I said that in Power Query, to do ETL, we no need to write what? Code. We can do ETL in Power Query using what? GUI options. To extract the tables, we use which GUI option? New source. In the same way, to transform the data in the tables also, I'll just complete the class in another few seconds, guys. Just few seconds. To transform the data in the tables, even to transform the data in the tables, you don't need to write what? Code. How you will transform, I said? Using GUI options. Using what? GUI options. You can transform the data using GUI options. Now, okay, What transformation you do it in the product data table? You need to convert the product name to uppercase, right? To convert the product name to uppercase, we no need to write the code. We can do it using what option I said? GUI option. What is the GUI option? I know Power Query. I know everything about Power Query. I know about all the GUI options. That reason I know how to transform it. To convert the product name to uppercase, I need to go to transform tab. I need to go to format. There is a GUI option called what? Uppercase. This option will help us to convert the product name to uppercase. Let's see that. Go to transform, go to format, click on what? When I click on uppercase, in the applied steps, it will add a new step. And that step will convert the product name to uppercase. Just observe, when I go to format, click on uppercase, it added a new step with the name called what? Uppercase the text. Now go and see product name got converted into uppercase or not. With just a click, we transform the data in which table? Product data. Now go to where? Customer data. In customer data, what is the transformation you need to do? In customers table, what you need to do? You need to combine first name, middle name, last name to full name. You need to combine first name, middle name, last name to full name. I'll tell you how to do that. So first go to customer data table, hold the control button, select first name, then select middle name, then select last name. To combine these three columns into one column, do you need to write the code? No, we need to find out what? GUI option. In Power Query, we can do everything with GUI option. We need to find out the right option. I know already all the options, right? I know that in the add column, there is a GUI option called what? Merge columns. That merge columns GUI option can combine these three columns into what? One column. Now I'll just go and click on merge columns. When I click on merge columns, it will add a new step here. And that step will give the result. Let's see. When I go and click on merge columns, first it will ask you, what is the separator you want? I want a separator called space. What is the separator? Space. What is the new column name? The new column name I need is customer full name. What is the full column name? Customer full name. As soon as I go and press OK, between first name and middle name, I need a space. Between middle name and last name, I need a space. And it will derive a new column, customer full name. When I go and press OK, it added a new step or not? What is the step name? Inserted merged column. When I scroll towards end, I can see what? Customer full name, customer first name, customer middle name, customer last name. Now you have customer full name. Now in product data table, I converted the product name to uppercase. In customer data table, we derived what? Customer full name. Like this, we need to go to each table and transform the data. You need to select each table and you need to check the data whether it is in the proper format or not. If not, we need to transform the data. Now, okay, imagine orders table have proper data. When orders table have proper data, now go to where? People's table. In the people's table, I don't have proper column headers. And I notice this first row is header. I need to move the first row to header. Moving the first row to header is nothing but one transformation. Nothing but what? To transform this, do you need to write the code? No, we need to find out what? GUI. What GUI option can move first row to header? In the home tab, there is a GUI option called what? Use first row as header. When I go and click on use first row as header, first row got moved to header. Now tell me people's table have proper data now? Yes. Now go to where? Returns table. Returns table also don't have what? Column headers. I need to move first row to where? Header. Tell me guys how to move the first row to header. Home tab. Use first row as header. One more time. When I click on now I got the proper headers here. Yes. Go to customers table. Customers table have proper data. Go to product table. Product table also have proper data. Go to sales table. Imagine sales table also have proper data. Now all my 6 tables have proper data. I extracted 6 tables. I clean the data or transform. What you do? You clean the data or what? You transform the data in all the 6 tables. What is the next step? You need to load the tables to Power Pivot. Now, by this time, you completed these 2 steps. You extract data, tables. You transform tables. You need to load the tables into where? Power Pivot. How to load the tables into the Power Pivot is you need to click on what? Close and apply. We need to click on what? Close and apply. When I click on close and apply, what happens when I click on close and apply is it will load 6 tables into where? Power Pivot. It will close what? Power Query. It will close Power Query. When I click on close and apply, just observe what is happening. It is loading how many tables now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables it is loading. After loading the 6 tables, it will close which software? Power Query. Power Query is no more open now. Now you are back to which software? Power BI Desktop. Now, from Power BI Desktop, you open what? Power Query, you extract the tables, you transform the tables, you load the tables to where? Power Pivot. You completed Power Query work. Whatever the tables you loaded from Power Query to Power Pivot, you can see those tables in the model view. I'm in Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, I'm going to where? Model view. When I go to model view, I can see the tables here. How many tables are there here? 6 tables are there or not? Try to understand. What tables you loaded from Power Query to where? Power Pivot. You can see the tables in where? Model view. Now you loaded 6 tables to Power Pivot, right? You need to use that 6 tables and create what? OLAP. Using that OLAP, you need to use in Power View and create what? Visual report. Okay, we will see later. So today we got an idea about introduction to what? Power Query. Today is just an introduction. In the actual classes, I'll discuss Power Query for how many hours? 13 hours of time. We will discuss what are the different GUI options available, how to do what? Detail. In an extensive way, we will discuss Power Query for 13 hours. Today is just an introduction. Okay, in tomorrow's class, online people, tomorrow is class number 3. Tomorrow's class is also a free class. Class 3 is a free class again. We are going to understand introduction to which software? Power Pivot software. Tomorrow, you people learn. Today, you people learn in Power BI Desktop how to open Power Query, how to do ETL. You learn. In tomorrow's class, you will learn what? In Power Pivot, how to create what? OLAP database. Right? So let us stop here. We'll go with some questions now. Online people, if you have questions, please raise your hands. Today, I'm going to share 2 videos with everyone who joined today's class. Introduction class video I'll share, and today's class video also I'll share. Both videos you'll get. Right, guys? So let's go with some questions.